All right, I've got a solution, guys. You know, I always like to bring solutions when there are problems. There's a problem in Major League Baseball, and it's sign stealing. Now, I know you're thinking, no, we've cleaned up the game. The Astros were punished, kind of. The Yankees got a slap. A lot of teams were doing it, and we'd like to think that now they're no longer using electronic devices. But I saw something in a game last night that was absolutely brilliant, but it shows me that the problem is still there. So let me set the stage for you. The Dodgers had a 2-run lead in the 9th inning, and there was a runner on second base. And Craig Kimbrell comes to the set, and as a pitcher, you always glance back to the runner at second base. Well, he saw what I've seen a million times. He saw the guy on second flashing the sign to the hitter. He had picked up what their sequence was. If it was the third sign, it's going to be that pit, whatever. And he was flashing the sign to the hitter. Now, Kimbrell's sitting there saying, I can only screw up here if I give up a 2-run homer. The guy is on second. He can see the sign from my catcher. So he did one of the smartest things I've ever seen a baseball player do. He was on the rubber, and he dropped the baseball, which everybody knows is an instant balk. And what does a balk mean? It means the runner on second gets a base. He has to go to third. Now, the runner at third can't see what the catcher is signing to the pitcher. He can't see his sign. If he flashes a sign, there's a good chance that the hitter knows what's coming. When big league hitters know what's coming, their averages go up 200 points. It's a lot easier to hit what you know is coming. Kimbrell didn't want to give up a 2-run homer to have the game tied, but he's willing to let that guy score. He means nothing. It's a 2-run game. In fact, that runner ended up scoring on an infield hit. But the Dodgers held the game and won 9-8. His strategy worked. Teams are still stealing signs in baseball, and they're going to continue to try stealing signs forever. It's part of the game, and you can do it without electronics. It's on the team that's throwing the signs to hide them. Here's my solution. Why don't we have communication devices between the catcher and the pitcher on what the pitch is going to be? Catcher's down here throwing all kinds of signs, all kinds of codes. Pitcher has to decipher it. It slows the game down. Most teams will have a pitching coach that flashes the sign into the catcher flashes it to the pitcher. A lot of teams have the catcher call the game. But if you have a pitching coach in the dugout with a microphone, and the catcher and the pitcher each have a hearing device in one ear, all the pitching coach has to do is slider. Catcher knows what's coming, pitcher knows what's coming, he throws it. Now, guys that know baseball will say, well, the shortstop, second baseman, and the outfielders like to know what's coming, because if it's a fastball, they might play for the hitter to go the other way. If you want to go that deep, the shortstop can wear a device, and the shortstop can communicate to the outfield and the second baseman the way they have for years. Closed glove, open mouth, they hide the sign. Only the second baseman can see it. They do that on the game today whenever there's a situation where they want to let everybody else know what the catcher is calling. They use them in the NFL. They have listening devices in the NFL. The communications department of the NFL jam the signals so they can never be intercepted. It would speed up the game, and it would clean up the game, and I think we need that right now in baseball.
I think they did start using a device that's not a speaker this year for some teams.
College.
I thought they were doing it in the majors.
If they are, I haven't heard about it. College started it a couple of years ago. They were going to tinker around with the idea.
They should, though. You're right.
I have no idea why they don't use it.
Yeah.
The games right now, if you watch, now, granted, the pitcher still decides what he wants to throw. If he's uncomfortable with the sign with the pitch that's called, he shakes, and the catcher drops another sign. Well, if the pitching coach asks for a fastball and the pitcher really wants to throw a four-seamer or a changeup, all the pitcher has to do is shake his head.
Right.
Pitching coach will see it. He'll call in the next pitch, and it speeds everything up.
And there's less shaking off these days anyway, especially young pitchers.
Yeah, most pitchers now throw what's called.
Yeah.
But the veterans that are comfortable and that they've earned that right, it takes so long. You see the pitcher stand there. No,
I don't understand why. There's 4 or 5 things in baseball that technology could remedy. Like, I don't understand.
Strike zone.
Strike zone. I don't need that. if you're called out at first base, did you beat it out or not? You could have
Well,
some
we
person.
use technology
we
for
use
that. It
the
doesn't
replay.
always work.
Well, I need them to have a sensor
Well, they
in the
say
bag.
it takes away from like the
Well,
game.
the sensor in the bag would tell you when the player hit the bag.
Yes.
It wouldn't tell you when the ball was in
That's
the first
true.
baseman's
Yes.
glove.
But again, if the replay to me was meant to correct the obvious mistake.
They've
If it's a
screwed it up,
bang
though.
play, I don't care. Move on.
They got a call wrong in the Indians
Yeah.
game that cost them the
Yes.
game a couple of nights
Yes.
ago.
Yeah.
So
Drives good. But I do want to see an electronic strike zone. I
Yeah.
think it'd be
I
better
do
for the game.
too.
Yeah.
yeah, electronic strike zone, and just forget this nonsense throwing the signs
yes.
down. Just an earpiece.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Football players have them in helmets.
Yeah.
It works fine for them.
It does.
Speeds up the game. All right, that's it. We're out of time. What's the best thing on tomorrow's show? Aditi's in studio.
Aditi in studio for 2 hours.
Aditi
Ah.
Kinkabwala. Did I nail that?
Got it. You got it.
Kinkabwala.
Yeah.
Who was formerly with the NFL Network. She's covered the AFC North and the Steelers for years. She's in Cleveland. She's going to stop by the studio and join us. We can't wait for that. We're going to have a conversation with Kevin Stefanski and Leroy Hoard, the former great Browns running back from the 90s. He's a wonderful guy. He does a
Leroy
real
Hoard.
successful radio show in South Florida. He's going to join the program. And have we confirmed him as a regular, or is this a one-off?
I know he's tomorrow. We're not sure about the regular yet, but
Okay.
he is here tomorrow.
Okay, I hope he's a regular because you guys are going to like him.
Yeah.
He's funny and he's raw. If he thinks it, he
Great.
says it. So tomorrow's show is going to be a good one. Thanks for watching today. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.